Hi, so as many of you guys know, I like reading comics, and I also like reading manga. And I recently picked up from the Pasadena Central Library a comic or a manga about creating manga. Not specifically a how-to book, but it's a story about two guys who are creating manga, and I'll talk about it in just a second. Hi, my name is Luis Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for the last 20 years. Yeah, and I picked this up again from the Pasadena Central Library. Um, it's a manga about these two guys who have decided that they want to become professional manga artists, and and it's a fascinating comic. I actually, and part of the reason, one of the reasons I like it is because it's a story. It's not a, I mean, it's entertainment, but it's infotainment. You get a lot of, what tools are used, the process of making a comic, at the in the a manga in the middle of this, at the end of every chapter, they even have roughs, so you could actually see the writer and the script, because the scripts, there are no scripts. What they do is what they call storyboards, which is basically a visual version of the story, like this, and then the artist then refines the visuals. So like if there is a writer, then they write this. Most of the time, the artist is the writer, so they tend to do all this stuff anyway. That's one of the many things that you find out in this book. In this series, there's a lot. There's a lot of information here about specifically about how to get published in Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is for mostly teenage boys, but it's the big mainstream book. And the idea is to get so popular in Shonen Jump, at least for these characters, that their comic becomes animated. It becomes an anime cartoon. So yeah, so a lot of what happens, they really show you the editorial process, how you're supposed to try to get an editor, what you show an editor, the relationship between the editor and the artists, what the editor's functions are, what the artist's functions are, what the desires for by the magazine is, what how the magazine judges artwork and stories, what gets published, how it gets published, you become more and more popular, how they judge your popularity, and specifically, even down to this volume 3, they start actually talking about what it is that you've got to do. What is the secret ingredient to keep not only the readers happy, but what do you need to do to create something that might actually be a hit of some sort, which I find incredible. Like I'm not. That's a really fascinating discussion, specifically if you are in that world yourself already. If you're already coming up with stuff, trying to come up with stuff, working towards that goal. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's amazing the little discussions the characters have. It's obviously the writers and artists and their experience in the manga world and what they've seen, and they're kind of talking to the audience about their experiences through these characters in this story. It's great. It's very educational. It's very, like I said, infotaining, and it goes through the ups and downs of being a creator in a different culture. Because I've worked in the comic book industry. I've done professional comics. It's so different. It's so very, very different, and it shows you the whole element of having assistants and having one guy do everything, but not really, because there's like somebody helping them out, trying to finishing up the backgrounds and stuff like that. But it's still their vision, and it's really, really interesting. I highly recommend it if you're a creator of comics, just even just to see what it's like in a different comic book culture, right? And see how what the overlap and the same struggles with all the creators and all the creative industries must be. So yeah, highly recommend this book. Let me know if you actually read this manga, if you start reading this manga based on my recommendation, or if you have read it already before I even recommended these things. Like I said, you could probably find them at your library, hopefully, right? If not, then yeah, they're definitely worth the purchase. As soon as I have some spending income, some income on my own that isn't paying mortgage and property tax. Yes, it's I'll be trying to pick these things up too because the artwork is incredible too. These guys are just phenomenal. Same art, same creative team as the the creators of Death Note. If you've seen that anime, because the manga became an anime, but the manga was really is one of the smartest, much more, it was a lot of fun, and this is a lot of fun too. So, oh, and the publishing house that these guys are specifically talking about is Shonen Jump. Did I say that earlier? I don't remember. But yeah, so yeah, let me know. Let me know if you've read it. I'd love to hear your comments about it. And yeah, and feel free to subscribe to my newsletter too. I'll probably be talking about other things by this point, about other stuff. So I usually have a different conversation on my newsletter. All right, so yeah, just leave a comment if you. I'd really like to know if what you guys think of this. All right, so I'll talk to you next time. All right, bye.